This program is brought to you by the City of Fountains Coaches Association.
Coach, the girls coach. Who do we have here, Coach?
Brandon Greenwood.
Hey, Brandon. Tell our audience a little bit about yourself. This is we keep reiterating. Talk about from the time you first fell in love with basketball and go all the way up to where you're at now. One of the main things I like my coaches to do is talk about the coaches that helped shape you, the people that were in your life that helped you build not just your basketball skill set, but your life skill sets. And then Coach Glasgow, because he is the athletic director and head basketball coach at Lincoln Prep, then he'll chop it up with you as it relates to the actual sport, what's going on at the university, your recruiting, your playing style, and that type of thing.
All right. Well, I'm from Little Rock, Arkansas, born and raised. My dad, my grandfather, and all my uncles were standout athletes from the Little Rock area. When it kind of took flight for me, my dad had us on an AAU team, which is we started off as the Arkansas Rockets, and we became one of the best AAU teams around, even nationally. And then pretty much we started maybe 6 or 7 years old, and all of us end up being on that same AAU team up till we was like 17 years old. And then a majority of us went to the same high school. And we grew together on and off the court. You know, it's kind of like we was family. But during that process though, my grandfather was the head coach and athletic director at Philander Smith College. You know, so when I'm in junior high school, when I'm getting out of practice, you know, I'm running over to the college, you know, doing the bump work, you know, recording the games, wiping the floor, doing the games. You know, all the kids knew me, you know, all these players, they knew me. So I kind of grew up on the college campus, you know, and that actually took me a long way to this day. But make a long story short, you know, I looked it up to my grandfather, you know, hanging out on that college campus. You know, I told myself, I'm going to be the athletic director and I'm going to be the coach at Philander Smith College one day. All right. So to speed it up a little bit, we did win a championship at Little Rock Central High School, state championship. One of the well-known guys on that team is Joe Johnson. He haven't officially retired yet. But actually, me and him are best friends. You know, we grew up around the corner from each other. You know, and then we also switched over to the Arkansas Hawks our senior year. So we got all the best players in the state of Arkansas to finally get on one team. And we went to the Nationals through AAU back then, and we bust up the tournament. I mean,
what year was that, Coach?
It was 99.
Let me say this to you. My lawyer's dad was the first black mayor of Little Rock, Charles Bussey.
That name sounds familiar.
Yeah, he's the first black mayor down there. And that was basically in the 70s, late 70s, early 80s.
Okay. Well, yeah, we went on, man, and it was actually the Nationals in Cleveland. It was in Cleveland, and man, we went down there and we represented the state of Arkansas well. We didn't lose a game down there. I think the closest game was maybe 10 points. And, you know, and I mean, we was loaded. And then
I was balling out of control.
We was balling out of control. You know, actually, one of my friends actually posted some of the articles on Facebook last night, and it was just brought back good memories. You know, I mean, and our coaches, they just we was up on the Bill Ingram at the time, and man, they just let us be us. You know, they let us enjoy ourselves, but they made sure we handled business, and we did it. You know, we represented the state of Arkansas well. But I went on and graduated from from Central High School. I'm probably the only one didn't go Division I. out of that class. I had a couple offers, D2, but my grandfather was still the coach at Philander Smith College, so I was like, man, I set my goals, like I want to do everything at Philander, so I might as well go on and play at Philander. And man, with me coaching at Philander now, and that's why I tell a lot of these kids, local kids, there's no better feeling to play in front of your friends and your family every day, and they screaming your name. Like, if you can play locally at home, I wouldn't pass up on it. It was just one of the best experiences I ever had in my life. My first college game, my whole family, both sides, my neighborhood friends, I had over 60 folks in there, and they was at every game. Like, and that make you compete, make you play better, as a player, and I think about those times all the time, But I ended up playing 4 years. I graduated, and when I graduated, Joe Johnson was my best friend. I wanted to go try to go overseas, but my friends, Joe was in Phoenix playing with the Phoenix Suns at the time. They was like, man, we kicking, we having a ball. So as soon as I graduated, I got on the first plane smoking. And, I went down there and stayed in Phoenix with Joe for what I think we did 2.5 years. Then, he got traded to Atlanta. So I went to Atlanta, stayed with him in Atlanta for about 3 years. And then my light just clicked on. I was like, big bro, man, I got dreams and goals that what I want to do. I said, man, I'm going to go ahead and move back home, man. I don't want to, but I got to start my own career. So I had a friend that I went to high school with. He was the PE teacher at elementary school, and they was hiring for another PE teacher. So he got me on. So when I moved back, I got that job. So I'm working at the elementary school. Then the athletic director knew that I was back in town 2 years after I've been at the elementary school. He asked me, you want to come be my assistant for the man's job? I said, yeah, that's one of my goals, So I said, yeah, coach, I'd love to be over there. So I got over there that first year, and I didn't know coaching was like that, y'all, man. We went 0-32. I was assistant coach, and we had talent. We had talent.
How you go 0-32 with talent?
Hey, we had 3 guys averaging 20 points a game, but we didn't win not one game. I don't know how that ever happened in life, but I was like, man, is this coaching? I don't know if I want to do this,
Right.
I was still at the elementary school, so the next year, the women's coach left. And the AD, the AD was the man's coach as well. And he was like, coach, man, go on and take the girls' job, so I don't have to hire nobody. I'm like, man, I ain't coaching no girls, man. I'm 24 at the time now. I'm about 24. I'm like, man, I ain't finna coach no girl. So he was coming up to my elementary job every day. Like, you need to take this job. You need to take this job. So somehow I got back to my grandfather. He said, hey, you better take that goddamn job. Yes, sir. Hey, and at the time, y'all, I had dreads in my head. He said, you gonna take that damn job and you gonna cut your hair. I said, yes, sir. That's my OG. I'm trying to follow his footsteps. So I took the job, cut my hair, and I haven't took a look back since. I've been there 13 years. I done turned that whole program around. I'm about at an 80% graduation rate with my girls. Our team GPA is over a 3-point every year. And it was a blessing, man. All the work I put in, it finally paid off this past year. I won my first conference championship, and I'm big on family. I'm going back. A lot of those guys that I played with, and a lot of those guys when I was in elementary going up to the college, they always tell me, they was like, man, it wasn't for your grandfather, man, I'd be locked up, I'd be in jail. You just don't know. But I did know because I'm watching how my grandfather treated all of them. He treated them like it was me. Like, right. And I never did get jealous, because that's kind of how my grandfather raised my dad, and that's how my daddy raised me. So it was just all in one motion of family and love and looking out for people, So I carried that over to my girls. Like, my girls know I'm a phone call away. Like, they can call me for anything because it's bigger than basketball. I want you to we're not going to go to the WNBA. You know, I had a couple shots, but I'm really trying to get them ready to get out here in the real world, you know, and be successful in this world. You know, it ain't about money with me. You know, it's just about seeing other people smile and helping out other people who don't have a mother and a dad and a grandpa and uncles to support them. So I try to make sure I support all my kids, especially the ones who really don't have that background. You know what I'm saying? You know.
Hey, Coach, let me interrupt you for a second. This is what I'm about to say is to all you young athletes, whether you're female or male. If you listen to what Coach just said, I'm not about to coach no girls. I'm not about to go do this. I'm not going to do this. But he had enough respect for his elders and his grandfather to say, hey, I'm about to do this. And you never know what the Lord has in store for you. And I think that your story is an excellent example of taking advantage of opportunities that you can't see yourself, but people that have experience, if we're not so bullheaded, and most of us, we come out of school, we think we know it all. And you coaches, Coach Glasgow, he deals with it on a daily basis, most likely. I dealt with it because I've been filming sports for the last 13 years. And those kids, a lot of them, they be seniors. They have these dreams that are really not fulfillable and don't really understand the nature of the real world. That's another key word you use. And not understanding that they really on a conveyor belt. And you might be important right now, but the coach is looking at his young freshmen that's coming in and his young sophomores that's coming in. You done went through the process, and now you got to be trying to bridge the gap between sports and education, because that education will take care of you for the rest of your life. And I think that's what you have talked about in the last part of what you were saying. I'm trying to get my girls ready for real life.
Right.
Now I'm handing it over to Coach Glasgow so that y'all can chop it up on the basketball side, the coach's side.
Okay.
All right, Coach. I'm first and foremost, man, I appreciate you being on. I've done several of these interviews so far. As an AD, and as a basketball coach and in the basketball community, you want to make as many connections as possible to try to help as many student athletes as possible, right? So A lot of people will watch this video. I'll send it out to, our parent base and our community base. It'll be out on Twitter. It'll be out on all the outlets and stuff, because we want, what I always try to tell parents and players are, to do your research and learn about, programs, find a home that you're going to be happy at for 4 years. Don't just go after the bright lights, but find a place where you're going to be able to call home. And you're going to be able to grow into the young man or young woman that you want to be. So what I always ask coaches on these interviews is just tell us about your program. Tell us about, your recruiting, how things are going for you for 2020 with the COVID. What your needs might be for this year, the years to come, what you look for in players and things like that, because when they see this interview, they can learn about your story, and then we want them to learn about, your program and your school. So if that interests them, then, we can make sure we connect on a regular basis and, hey, Coach, I got a girl for you that can really go, check her out, those types of things. So tell us about your program. Tell us about, your style of play, all of those things, and how recruiting's going for you at the present time with all the changes with the virus and everything.
Okay. First thing I want to start off with this is from the recruiting part of it, and I'm just talking to the young student athletes. with recruiting, you know, make sure you're going somewhere that a coach really wants you. And you can tell when a coach really wants you. You know, a lot of times they listen. A lot of time they're getting bad advice. You know, and I just hate to say it like that, but it's just the truth. And a college career to me is playing at least 3 years. Most freshmen, you know, don't play as much. Right. You know, but at least a career is playing 3 years. Don't go sit on no bench nowhere for 3 years and you play your senior year. That's not no college career. No, That's not. So, I mean, even if you have to go D2 or NAIA, go somewhere where you can play. Because you want to be able to tell your kids you played, or you want to show them some film. You know, right. Sitting on the bench for 3 years and then playing your senior year, that's not a career to me. I mean, that's just my take on that, you know. But for the most part, man, as I grew up under my dad and my grandfather, you know, we always been defensive headed coaches. You know, I love defense. You know, it just defense really is your offense to me personally. Right. You know, I'm gonna pick it back off my high school team. You know, I was the seventh man, and the 6 guys in front of me was Division I players. So I had to find a niche to get on that floor. Like, I'm in high school, man, and all these girls at the gym, at the games. You know, I want to play. You know, so I turned my mental isn't. I'm gonna stop anybody on the floor. I'm diving. I'm jumping in the stands. I'm just all over the floor. So it got to a point where the starters was like, Coach, we feed off BG. We need him in the game. So I found my niche to get on the floor. You know, so I carried that over to my coaching philosophy. I love defense. You know, we're going to pressure. We're going to press the whole game. But also as a coach, sometimes I have to adjust on the way the game is being called or foul trouble on my team. And I play some zone if I have to, or, you know, play a laid back, you know, gap defense on man to man. But I like to get up and down the floor. You know, like I said, I believe our best offense is our defense. You know, like I said, I have different sets that are run, but defense is my thing. You know, that's just what we love. And also, you know, every kid on my team know they role. You know, but if you got a decent wide open shot, I want you to take it. Because 9 times out of 10, if you don't take it, we're gonna end up throwing the ball away. Right. You know, so if you shoot that ball, you give us a chance to rebound and get another opportunity. You know, but as far as that, man, my philosophy: get up, down the floor, share the ball. You know, take the best available shot. You know, you got to be smart. You know who your best player is. You know who your best scorer is. So we get in a tight situation, you know who we might try to get the ball to. But because I'm trying to get the ball to this person, you need to still make a basketball play. You know, you still can penetrate, kick to the open person, or, you know, make a basketball decision. You know, so that's pretty much how I run, man. We gets up and down the floor. I look at it as having fun. You know, you defending. You get that ball in open court, you can show your ability. You can show what you really can do. You know, so that's how I look at it. For as recruiting, it's been kind of rough on me. Well, it haven't been rough. It's just more sitting in front of the computer all day and watching film, breaking down film, reading emails, talking to coaches. You know, around this time when people sending me film, I look at the film, but I also look at the competition too. Because, you know, you got some folks look great on film, but you look and see who they playing against, they ain't playing against nobody. Right. You know, you got to really look into the film and what you're really looking for. You know, I lost 6 seniors from the championship team, but I do have 6 seniors returning. I signed a freshman kid, Latavia from Dallas, Kamisha Anderson from Dallas, and also I signed Devonna Smith from JUCO. From Baton Rouge, and then I signed a girl from Ranger College. So I'm at 9 kids right now. I got a little more scholarship money left. I'm just gonna hold on to it until I find something that we really need. But with that 9 though, I feel like we can make it back to the championship game. I actually this past season, the majority of the games I played 7. Normally, you know, I get up and down, we play maybe 10, 11 a game, you know, but when it got down to the nitty gritty, you know, those 7, but you know, we train for them. We train for everybody can play 40 minutes a game. That's how I train with conditioning. So I just knew this had to be my year. If I didn't win it this year, I knew I probably wasn't gonna never win it again, because I just had that team and won it. You know, we won it. You know, so but that's pretty much, man. You know, going on our end. You know, just steady watching film every day and, you know, evaluating players, reading email, you know, and making sure I stay up under my budget, my scholarship budget.
Got you. So I'm a boys coach. You know, our girls Lincoln girls program has went to the Final Four the past 2 years. Coach Atkins is a great coach. He's, you know, been coaching for 30 years, Hall of Fame coach in our area. You know, so, you know, we look forward to building, you know what I mean, relationships with coaches, because, you know, more of our kids, you know, have an opportunity to play at that NAIA level than they do at that Division I level. It's just such a small percentage. Even though the world is telling these kids it's D1 or bust, and a lot of them buy into it, I think once they see that the competitive nature of the game doesn't really change for the level, you know, that you're at, you just still got to bring it, man. Like, you know, it doesn't really matter if it's D1, D2, NAIA. If you can ball, this ball is everywhere, you know.
Exactly.
For us, you know, we want to relay those messages. We want to make sure that we putting our kids with coaches, you know what I mean, that understand that. Now, what with the boys and the girls difference, you know, to me, what I see is with the girls side, the game is the same, but the approach and the way things are handled with recruiting, with all of that entails, is just a lot different. You know, it's just a lot different than the boys' side. Can you talk a little bit about your, you know, you play with ISO Joe. You know what I mean? You play with those guys, the NBA guys. You had a high-level AAU career, winning nationals. So you know what that scale is like. For boys and girls, it seems to be a difference. So talk about, you know, what you feel the difference is. You know, like you said, you wasn't going to coach girls at first. So what's that culture like difference for you? And, you know what I mean, what would be your advice to these young ladies at Lincoln or in the KC metro area? You know, if they want to come and play for you, you know, what would you say to them about what you know they need to do to get to that point?
Well, I mean, the difference. Well, one thing my grandfather did tell me, you know, when I first took the women's job, and I was like, Grandpa, I'm struggling. He said, son, you coach them how you coach men. Coach them how you coach men. So I took that approach, and I kind of, with women, one thing about women is, once they know you got their back, they will run through a brick wall for you. Right. You know, they young adults, they get mad at me when they don't get their way, or they might not play that much, and they get mad and frustrated. But they know at the end of the day, Coach Greenwood got their back regardless. I'm your coach. You know, everything ain't gonna go as right. You're not gonna play the whole game. You might get the shots you want, but I'm always gonna be here for you. And I got your back. Dealing with guys a little more kind of hard-headed, a little rough, think they know everything. You know, women, they a little more emotional.
Being an athlete,
you know,
being just athletic. Yeah, being athletic is, you know, makes you think, you know, they think that's all you got to be. Like, you know, one thing I noticed about the game is it's fundamentals and skill, and, you know what I mean? All of that is way more prevalent, and discipline, you know, and things like that.
Right.
Things that I noticed about the women's game. That's
exactly, and I agree with you totally. Cause see, it ain't too many just women just all out athletic. So, you know, they gotta have fundamentals, you know, and then they gotta believe in your system to make them stand out, you know. And that's when, you know, as a coach come in, you know, you put them in the right situation so they can be successful. You know, on guys' side, sometimes their athletic ability can kind of hide what they really don't know.
Well, and if you look at the recruiting difference, a lot of these kids are just athletic. They really don't play that well. Their game is really not that solid. but they can run, jump. They might be long. You know,
Right.
really now recruiting has become more about, you know, on the men's side, has become more about the eye test. This guy looks like a basketball player because he got long legs, long arms. He can run, he can jump, but he can't make a free throw or a layup, you know, other than a dunk. You know what I mean? They don't really have that much skill. But the coaches feel like, you know, once I get them in my program, I can develop that, which in most cases a lot of them can. But for the women's game, you got to be, you know, you got to have some game right off the rip, or you know,
You're gonna get lost behind. You're gonna get left behind. Exactly. I agree with you.
So what's the campus life for the ladies like when they come to, you know, come to your program? What's it like down there for them? I know it's HBCU. We talked to your men's coach earlier today. I had a good conversation with him. He said, you know, it's HBCU environment, but you know, it's always different for men and women. So, you know, what's the campus like for the ladies down there? And how does that look?
Well, first thing is, and a lot of people say my problem with me and my coaching staff is we spoil our girls too damn much. When they first get there, like they first year, when they get on campus, man, I walk through the process with every last freshman. I mean, like I'm going back to school. Right. But it goes back to, though, I'll give you a heads up, like the business office, the dormitory, the registrar office, all the places that the freshmen have to go through. I develop relationships with those people that work in those offices. Like throughout the year, I take them lunch. I go hang out with them. I call them, hey, how you doing today? Well, this coach is speaking. So when they do come in these long lines, I can walk my girls, get them VIP treatment.
Right.
So, and it's big on that experience because I have lost a kid before that she was in line all day. And she was like, it's too long. I don't even want to come here no more. You know, but that's on every campus, though. You know, it's just not, you know, that's on every campus, though. But I do my work before my kids get there. Like the kids that I already signed, like they already in the system. They in the dorms. They paperwork in. So when they get here, so they experience gonna be cool. So I have more time to hang out with them and their family before they drop them off for good than sitting in them doggone lines all day.
Right.
You know, but you know, but they experience it be good, man. I try to make sure everything goes smooth for them. And I make sure they meet all those folks that help me take care of them.
Right.
And I let them know, I said, if you ever see these folks that ever ask anything for you all, you need to do it.
Yeah.
It's a reason by that, you know, and eventually over the years, they see why, you know, but it's easy, man. You know, I just left out the registrar office before I just got on this call with you all, and she was finishing up my graduating seniors paperwork. Like, Coach, Coach, I got you. You already know they good, you know.
Right.
I got you, you know. But as me, I'm still checking up on them, you know, making sure, because it's, you know, it's bigger than basketball, you know. But yeah, man, the transition good, man. You know, for the last couple of years, you know, the girl program been getting a lot of attention, you know. You know, they just seen the growth, and I done had some bad girls, man. And I mean, the city been coming out. You know, the fans love to watch the girls' games. You know, it ain't, you know, normally with the girls' games, you know, they normally get packed by halftime. You know, but you know, ours picked up. You know, they was there before the game started. You know, so it's a good atmosphere, man. Like I say, I played there, went to school there. It's small classes. Teachers don't know you by your first name. And I mean, I think it's a great campus, man. I love it. You know, I had an opportunity to maybe go to a couple other schools, but I wouldn't trade my experience for nothing in the world. And to be honest with you, half of the guys that I played with, half of them still stay here in Arkansas.
Right.
I played from guys from Tucson, New Orleans, Dallas, Memphis, and half of them still stay here to this day. And they've been, what about almost 16, 17, 18 years ago when I played ball in college, and we still good friends. You know, we still talk every day, you know. So, yeah, for the girls to come in, man, they going to love it. You know, they going to love it. I'm going to put them around the right people. And then by me being here from Little Rock and knowing so many folks, I mean, they just covered all the way around. So, it's just a top-of-the-line program. And I ain't even just talking about the women's program, just the athletic department that we have, that we run over there. I mean, it's a good program. It's a good program.
That's great, man. So tell me about, have you recruited kids out of the Kansas City metro area? Do you got some contacts around here? Have you looked at some girls?
Actually, it's a big guy named Stewart. He played at Philander Smith.
Stu. He actually got the job at University Academy, the girls coach at University Academy.
Oh, so you know Big Stu?
Coach.
Actually coached Big Stu in semi-pro basketball. And he was the boys' assistant coach at University Academy and just took the head girls coach. So yeah, I know Stu well, man.
Hey, my grandfather coached Big Stu, man. The crazy part about it, he sent a picture this week of him and my grandfather when he was on campus at Philander. He said, I need to read a Philander.
Hey, Coach.
Yes.
What
Yes,
you
sir.
do is go to our website, cascadesports.tv. We did a big interview with him this season. I told you we're a high school website with the girls and the boys. You'll get a whole lot of insight on the players, and we film their games.
Okay.
So you just put his name in the search bar, and the video is gonna come up.
Oh yeah, I most definitely check that out, man. Stu's a good guy, man.
Yes,
call,
sir.
ask him about me, man. He go like Greenwood. Oh man,
I'm gonna do that. Sure.
Yeah. He normally, out the blue, if he see some kids or something, he'll send me the video, or he'll call me and let me know, check out this girl. So that he really my main contact down there. And then I have another friend that graduated with me from Philander. He still Carlos Harrison. He still stay in Kansas City, and actually Corey Jones actually bagged me up at Philander as a point guard. He stays down in Kansas City, so they come back to home. And if they see any kids, men or women, they always reach out to me and tell me I need to take a look at them or send the information over to Todd if they're boys.
That's great, man. Yeah, we got a lot of talent around. I feel like it's kind of an under recruited area, so to speak. I mean, that's just my opinion. I mean, I see a lot of these kids grow up from being, third, fourth grade. I know our girls team is extremely talented. I mean, there's a lot of talented kids on our girls team. So we'll definitely be sending some girls your way, and just letting you take it from there and say, hey, come check this kid out, man. She's gonna be able to play at that level. I mean, I know we take pride in developing these girls and these boys here in the city, and Little Rock isn't far away, so people can get back and forth to still see their kids play, and
right.
being away from home but still close to home is important to a lot of kids. If you're not going to be able to stay home, then at least go somewhere where it's within driving distance and your family can still come see you, or you
right.
go home when you need to go home and things like that. So, but Coach, man, I appreciate you coming on with us today and kind of telling us about your program and telling us about what you got going on down there. I look forward to being a resource for you as well, man. Other than Big Stu and everybody, if you need anything, man, we'll exchange numbers after the call, man. Please let me know if you're looking for a PG, a big, or anything else, man. Just don't hesitate to give me a shout, man.
Oh man, I appreciate you, man. Let's work together, man. Let's start a pipeline for sure. Like I say, I still got 3 to 4 spots available, and I still got scholarship money.
Okay.
Let's talk, man. And I appreciate y'all, man. I really enjoyed this time with you guys.
Hey, Coach Glasgow, add to the caveat about the grade point average, how your kids can get that academic money as well. Run that.
Oh, yeah, no question. I mean, Lincoln is one of the highest rated academic highest rated schools in the nation. Academically, our kids maintain a 2.5 GPA just to be at the school. So, otherwise, if they fall below that, they can be put on academic probation and things like that. So when you get kids from Lincoln, you getting the highest rated academic kids in the nation. And, academics are never an issue. It's 100% rate for kids to go to college right out of high school, not necessarily for sports, but, they go right away. So we've done a great job. I mean, that's always been the foundation of Lincoln academically, but we've done a great job recently at really, really pushing athletics to try to match that academic level. So if you get kids from Lincoln, grades will never be an issue, or test scores or anything like that. You'll be able to get that extra bread you don't have for money, for scholarship money, for athletics. You'll be able to make it up from academics, no doubt about it. So.
Well, yeah, and that's what I look for. I look for them academic kids to help balance my budget because I don't have a big budget. So I do look for academic kids that can play some basketball to help out with my budget. So that
we
sounds
got them for you, Coach. We got them for you.
Most definitely need to hook up. Most definitely, we need to hook up.
Hey, Coach Greenwood. Also, while we're on the air, I want to mention the City of Fountain Coaches Association. It's basically a Black coaches association. All of the HBCU coaches that we've interviewed thus far, over a dozen, are joining the association. There hasn't been really a Black coaches association that has really been as active since John Thompson and Cheney started that. And that was basically on Division I level. As I've said previously, there are no associations like ours that are willing to address the issues that affect NAIA, Division III, Division II, and HBCU coaches. Y'all have a whole different set of problems. And by belonging to the association, and we're just now doing HBCU. So over the next 6 months, once we get all 110 HBCUs interviewed with our coaches, then we will be putting some correspondence together to find out what issues that you have in your programs, what issues that they have that the governing bodies are not addressing. And then it doesn't really single out a coach because it's an association bringing those issues to the table.
Okay.
And so we'll talk a little more about that in the future. What parting words would you have to say for our audience?
Stay safe out here. It's a trying time right now. Y'all be blessed. If you have you need any information on Philander Smith College, you can look me up. You can give me a call. I'll be able to answer any questions. But it's one of the best HBCUs out.
Hey, Coach Glasgow, what's your parting words?
Appreciate you, Coach. Stay safe down there, man. Anytime you're in the city, man, you know, we'll hook up, man. We'll get together with Big Stu, man, and throw some Q back and a couple cold ones, man. And, you know, hopefully you'll be coming up to check out some of these young ladies that we have up here, man, because I think we got an untapped resource for a lot of coaches. And by all means, man, if you can get them all, then, you know, we'll send them all.
All right, Coach. I'm going to hold you to that now.
I got you.
All right. And in closing, as we always say at Cascade Sports and Cascade Media Group, when you invest in your community, you're really just investing in yourself.